up, MD? This is Jeff Logan, NPC bodybuilder. Today we trained at Bev Francis, the East Coast Mecca, world-renowned gym. It was beautiful. We did shoulders today. We started out with military press, and it's a cycle burst training that Robert Colosino invented a while ago. The basic idea of cycle burst is you want to obviously unrack the weight, and of course we did a couple warm-up sets to begin with. So once you pick a weight that you think you can get maybe for like 4 or 5 reps, again, if you're gonna try this method of training, you wanna start out light. So, and I mean, I don't know what's going on, but I trained with Craig Richardson from MHP. He told me the weights were a little bit heavier, which they are. And pretty much you're gonna unrack the weight, you're gonna bring it down, you're gonna do an explosive rep, recruiting, obviously maximum amount of muscle fibers because you're moving the weight as fast as you can. And then you're gonna hold it up there for about 50 to 60 seconds, whatever you can take. And usually, we count the clock. But I mean, today was in your head, and once you count in your head, it's kind of a faster paced, count. So you're gonna hold it for 50 seconds, and then you're gonna bring it down as slow as possible, really ripping those fibers apart, and then you're gonna do as many partials as you can. Even if you're, kind of looking dumb there, inching the weight off your chest, as long as there's some type of movement, even if it's a millimeter, you're getting, the max you can out that fiber, because the main focus of training is to what? You want to fatigue the fibers so they grow. You want to break them down. So if you can break them down in less time, that's going to be more effective because you're going to be able to get more rest. Pretty much cycle burst training is what Robbie Colosino invented a while ago. And pretty much it emphasizes like all the components of pretty much what you're trying to fatigue your muscles. So you can unrack the weight, lower it as you normally would, maybe 3 seconds down. You're fatiguing yourself out, explosively, statically, and then you're doing a negative rep as slow as you can, and sometimes pausing in the middle, and then you got your positive movements, which are partials. And I mean, by the end of that, your fibers are so fatigued you can't even think. And then we're going up progressively heavier, so fatiguing them even more, it just equals growth. That's all it can do. 20 more. The first time he introduced me to it, it was for chest. And then this guy walks right up to me and says, "What are you doing? What is that? Why are you holding it? I saw you didn't move for like a minute." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, it's cycle burst. And you gotta kind of, there's no easy way to explain it. And then nobody really understands until they do it. Like, it looks dumb. You look like an idiot. I think that my shoulder development and my chest development has came up a long way since I've started it. Obviously I do other movements, there's other shoulder workouts and chest workouts, but I mean, explaining is definitely different to people. I'll switch it up maybe every week, or I'll do the cycle burst at the beginning, maybe with my big movement, but I incorporate, multiple different styles. We were in like these cycles for football training where you start high, maybe 20 reps, then the next week you come down to 12, next week you come down to 10, and all the way to 2, and then at the end of that cycle we would do 100 rep days in college. So I mean, I got very strong off that. I didn't get huge, but I got strong. So I know that you need to confuse your muscles in order to grow them. So sometimes I'll do 2 days on, 1 day off. Sometimes I'll go Ronnie Coleman style and train everything twice a week and without a day off. But I do it all by feel, and I try to trick my body. Pretty much I was 12 weeks out from the show, and I was 281, and I started my prep April 1st. And I mean, now 7 weeks out, I'm 244. And like I said, the diet was the hardest part of it. I thought it was all fun and games, just, eat some chicken breast and rice and, walk on the Stairmaster. You see, you watch all the greats just walking, walking on the, treadmill, doing the bike. No. I wasn't losing fat at the beginning as fast as I was supposed to be. Chris Tuttle, he put me on a different diet, and he put me on a Stairmaster diet. And I do, hour and a half to 2 hours a day on that thing, split up into 2 different sessions, sometimes 3. And it's definitely been a process. And I mean, I got a whole new respect for bodybuilders and anybody who is in the slightest amount of shape, because it takes a lot of work. 7 weeks out, I feel kind of drained but energized at the same time. It's like you're drained because you're carb depleted, and you might snap on people. My fiance has been very, very patient with me. We have 2 dogs at home, and you got to be patient with them. And being kind of carb depleted and eating chicken and broccoli every 3 hours. And luckily I have fat in my diet now, so my hunger's a little bit more sustained, with almonds and, olive oil and stuff like that. And I'm still allowed some oatmeal and a sweet potato, very small amounts, but I mean, my hunger's sustained. But you feel energized when you see like, wow, where did that vein come from? I've never seen that vein in my life. Like, this is only the second time I've seen abdominals in my life. It's like, wow, what are those? Taking pictures every 5 minutes. My fiance's like, get out of the mirror, but it's definitely a reward to the being tired and, you know, kind of not being there, but you're doing it for a purpose. Explosive. 1, 2. I first started off as a kid watching my dad bodybuild, and I mean, in the bathroom was a stack of you know, muscle development magazines, and I'll always look through them and look how big these guys are, and see my dad was the hugest person to me in the world, and I think he got me into it. And I mean, I started lifting and I was strong. I ended up bench pressing 315 in 9th grade, 405 in 10th grade, 475 in 11th grade, and people thought, you know, oh, he's doing different stuff. And no, I just worked. I said I wanted to have that type of body that I saw in these magazines. And I mean, I was a football player. I was very good at football, but under those pads, I wanted the biceps and the veins and the triceps and striations, you know. But yeah, I would definitely say my dad got me into the whole, you know, bodybuilding world.
Hold on. Come on.
First and foremost, I want to thank God. You know, I got tons of tattoos. One of my biggest tattoos is Philippians 4:13 across my traps, and that's, you know, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. None, you know, it's not some things, it's all things. Happy birthday to Alex. Happy Mother's Day. My son Jeffrey, you know, Rochester, New York. My mom, dad, Josh, Josiah, grandmas, cousins, aunts, uncles. Big Rob Colasino, who invented Cycle Burst. You know, you can find him on Facebook. Ron Harris, Evan Centopani, Minari Brothers, Powerhouse New Haven. Kenny, the poser, taught me how to pose. Like, he's excellent. Paul and Jack down there in Powerhouse Berlin. Muscular Development for giving me this opportunity. CCSU football. Coach Erickson, you prepared me for life. Nick Weary, Sean, James, Lynn, Chris Tuttle. Eric Thomas, I'm here. I do want success as bad as I want to breathe. And pretty much you can reach me on Twitter. It's at Logs42, that's LOAGZ42. Instagram is Jeff Logs, JEFF LOAGZ. And yeah, you can find me on the MD forums too, Jeff Logan. And I want to give a shout out to the NYBB Blue MHP squad. I learned a lot from them yesterday. And Jeff, the producer, for giving me this opportunity, AKA Mr. Traps and Biceps.